It's my birthday yesterday, so I get cake. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jack's Nation and Mansplain Mondays. Today we have another debate article from Aftonbladet. Not quite as retarded as the last one, but still enough to wish your life would be abruptly and permanently suspended. It's written by 4 hypersensitive woke as fuck little shits who don't have a very good grasp on anything really. Yeah, let's jump into it. Determining what's racist isn't up to the 3 of you, Sana. That's the title. Let's address that, just the headline real quickly. Who does decide what racism is? Who holds the irrefutable power to determine whether or not something is racist? Do we turn to them for guidance? Or what? Or do we just simply use the fucking definition of racism? Could that be a valid substitute? The article is directed at 3 Swedish high-profile entertainers, Robert Gustafsson, Sanna Nielsen, and Malena Ernman, as well as the Oscar Theater. And the notion is basically that they are guilty of perpetuating and normalizing harmful and racist tendencies. Last Saturday, Sanna Nielsen posted a picture of herself and Robert Gustafsson, captioned with a "Thank you for a good review week." In the picture, Sanna is wearing a kimono and large fake teeth along with large glasses. Robert is meanwhile dressed as an Arab. Sanna described herself in an entry on her blog as the horny geisha. As criticism started to emerge, Sanna, as well as the theater, strongly disclaimed any sympathy with racist ideologies. Okay, let's pause there. So people were upset because someone dared depicting certain demographics in an unflattering way. There's nothing new about that. It's basically a routine procedure by now. I mean, you tell a racist joke, someone is offended, you fucking move it. You move on. It's not a big deal. The anti-racist icon, Malena Ernman, came out in full defense of Sanna Nielsen, stating that she was by no standard racist in any way. So, I don't see a problem with this so far. I mean, we have 2 entertainers trying to get a cheap laugh out of people using tired-out stereotypes, being criticized for it, and then defended by a 3rd entertainer. This, though, is where the feces collide with the air conditioner. As a result of this, we'd like to turn to all of you. The Oscar Theater. In a review about inclusion. Why is there a complete lack of inclusion and representation? Not enough minorities for these gender studies graduates. What were you thinking, depicting racism to try and demonstrate how racism is wrong? It's like with children, they do what we do, not what we tell them. I want to raise 2 points, you cunt. Utilizing stereotypes helps in creating a clear distinction between reality and fiction. Stereotypes used in a context of entertainment is usually not taken seriously to any fucking degree. And by depicting certain demographics in an exaggerated and stereotypical way, you dismantle the stereotypes themselves. You display the absurd nature of false stereotypes. You retard! Robert, wouldn't it be better to depict Arabs in an entirely different way than stereotypical ones, with the intent of inducing epiphanies in the midst of the laughter? After years of racist caricatures from you, don't you think it's your turn to get with the times? Oh boy. How exactly would it be better? How do you think Arabs should be depicted? And what would the purpose be? Now, Robert's main focus is to generate laughter, to entertain people. And getting with the times and being objective, boring, and socially pertinent, that could be the fucking death of a comedian. Sanna, you stand up to bullying and call yourself an anti-racist as well as a feminist. Why did you not ponder what message your picture would send when it was simply posted with no context given? Well, given the fact that she's a fucking entertainer as well as an anti-bullying advocate and a fucking feminist, I think people would be able to figure it out, because usually people are capable of using their brains. Clearly, thinking is not your thing, you poster children for contraception. You've also done well when met with over-sexualization, and yet you don't hesitate to sexualize an already over-sexualized group of women. Myths about East Asian women's sexuality have far-reaching negative consequences. No citation. Why does your feminism not extend to these women? Well, you know, Sana may be one of few feminists with an actual sense of humor, who realizes that not everything you do and not everything you say has to have a deep, profound social and political message embedded within it. Sometimes it can just be to get a cheap laugh out of people, just to entertain. It's just a thought. In a humoristic context, it's usually about how can I make people laugh, not how can I effectively push this particular agenda. You know, that's what twats like you guys are for. Milena, you defending Sana clearly demonstrates a great ignorance to what racism is. Racism is more than the Sweden Democrats and refugee centers being set on fire. You choose to be a gatekeeper of racism, deciding what racism can and can't be illustrated. It's not your place to say as a person who isn't affected by racism. You mean, exactly what you're doing right now? You know, who the fuck are you to tell someone what they can and can't say? You cunt! You know what? You don't get to do that either. We have a definition of racism, you fucking mongoloids. So before I end this video, I wanted to introduce you to a quite radical idea. Not all racism is harmful. I know that sounds insane to some of you, and it's very difficult for a teeny tiny little social justice warrior brain to process. But even though jokes and entertainment can have a racist undertone, it doesn't make light of victims of actual racism, nor does it perpetuate or incite racist behavior. It absolutely doesn't. Sure, you can take offense by a racist joke, and that's well within your right. I have no right to tell you by what you can and can't be offended. But you being offended doesn't grant you any special rights or any privilege. Welcome to the real world, where occasionally you will be offended by things. Grow thicker skin and suck it up. Now, if you enjoyed my video, I would love you unconditionally if you would leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Share this with everyone. Leave a comment down below. You know, interact with me. I want you to interact with me. That would be brilliant. Thank you for visiting the Jax Nation. I'm Jax. See you next time. I'm gonna eat more cake and have a beer. I need an outro.